Yeah, my dad told me to put that video there. So that's the video that you're going to be seeing every single time you click on one of my videos from now on. Happy days. Hey guys, it's Livy Chicken. It's me. Yep, cool. Okay, so I saw this video, right? It's called I wish I didn't take my crush socks. And the thumbnail says I am the collector. Now, what? First of all, what? Second of all, what the f***? And third of all, oh, I didn't hold up enough fingers. Third of all, we gotta watch this. We gotta know why she wished she didn't take her crush socks. Oh, frick off, YouTube.
Hi there, I'm Lucy.
Okay, Lucy, first mistake they've made here is they have forgotten to put text in the text boxes, writing. Just thought I'd point that out for you.
Hi there, I'm Lucy. I'm
Hi,
here
Lucy.
to confess my darkest secret.
Jesus
When I was
Christ.
young, I developed a creepy obsession with watching people sleep. I had a collection of used socks.
Okay, so what we've got here is a deranged psychopath. Let's continue and see where this goes.
I always took not a pair, but a single one from each of my victims. It gave me an adrenaline rush to imagine them in the morning, looking for their missing sock,
I don't think they'd care that much.
not knowing that an obsessed girl spent the night there. It began as an innocent hobby, but then it went far over the edge. I always
An innocent hobby. You broke into people's houses and took their socks.
felt so powerful when I stared at them. They looked so peaceful, thinking they're alone and safe. When I sat and observed them for hours, I knew it was wrong, but I couldn't help it. When I stayed over at my friend's home, I stayed up all night just staring at them. When we were at school, I saw them studying, having fun, and that was okay. But at night, they were mine. Everyone in town was mine. At night, I didn't have to share anything with anyone.
So she's like nocturnal or something. But she doesn't sleep at all. So she's just basically not a human being, you know? It do be like that, but you know, it's just okay.
I controlled everything. I owned their most private moments. There was that occasional
Well, they're not taking a shit, are they? So you don't own their most private moments. Like, you're only watching them sleep, love. Don't get ahead of yourself.
disgusting moment when someone woke up. They broke the spell and it made me want to throw up. That's when I had to come up with a pathetic lie, and I lost interest in that person forever. Since I didn't sleep at night, I always hid in the bathroom during school time and slept there. I've memorized every class of every hour at school, so I knew which classrooms were free and when, so I could sleep there too.
So she's got BBE, big brain energy, as you can see. She doesn't sleep, and she knows everything, pretty much. Okay.
Rest of the time, I walked through the halls like a ghost with my headphones on, waiting, hoping that night came so I could continue fulfilling my dream. It's ironic, right? That I had to watch people sleep so I could dream awake. My obsession went on for years, and it became a routine. And as time went by, it was harder and harder to satisfy this strange need. I already knew everyone in town. I needed a new challenge, a new possession. And my prayers were heard. One morning, new neighbors arrived. I watched them from my window in silence. I studied them. I always studied awake people. Their pitiful jokes. Their voices.
She's awake.
I'm a savage.
Oh my god.
Their smiles, their lame conversation. It's all a scheme. When they slept, they revealed their true selves to me. I could tell right away that the parents had trouble sleeping. They looked like they worked too much, tired, with heavy eye bags. But their son? Tommy. There's something about him.
And he's a ranger! Thank you, My Story Animated, for the inclusion. We don't really get that these days. I just wanted to say thank you. I appreciate it.
Something unusual. He looked shy and not exactly annoyed, but gone. from a different world. He's around my age, so I knew that a lot of teenagers acted like that. But Tommy? For some reason, he seemed different. That night, I waited for the lights to go out and went directly to his room. I stared at him for a long time.
So people just leave windows unlocked these days? Is that just what happens? I mean, I didn't know that.
Watching new people sleep for the first time gave me a special thrill. Tommy was
Oh
different,
my God.
as I predicted. His lips were tight and his hands were closed in fists, but his breathing was heavy, and his eyes moved under his eyelids. I knew he was sleeping, but he was tense at the same time. I immediately felt like I've known him forever. He was not like the rest, and now he was mine. I touched his hair, and he didn't move. He seemed so amazingly fragile. I stood up and walked around his room. All his clothes and books that were in boxes that morning had been already put in place. Tommy was a neat boy. I looked on the floor but found no used socks. That was strange. Who doesn't have a pair of used socks lying around?
I don't know, someone who puts them in the laundry basket. Just a thought.
You're mysterious, Tommy. You're provoking me, even in your dreams. Okay, challenge accepted. I opened the door and went out to the hall. The house was quiet and dark, but I knew it by heart, since I used to watch the previous neighbors sleep. I got inside the bathroom and searched for the laundry bag. The first thing I grabbed was Tommy's dad's underwear. I was disgusted, but I kept on.
Okay, good. It's
There
disgusting.
were more than a couple of socks there, and I couldn't tell if they were Tommy's or not. I sniffed them with my eyes closed, trying to focus. Is this your smell, Tommy? I wondered. And suddenly, I heard noises. Dang! Someone woke up. Disgusting. The footsteps were getting closer to the
Disgusting that they have bodily functions.
bathroom. Oh no! I couldn't see awake people during the night. It was painful. I heard the door knock.
You mean it's painful? This bitch really out here just... Oh my God, okay.
And jumped to the bathroom to hide, still holding the sock in my hand. I didn't want to, but I had to look to see who it was, and I sighed. Thank God it wasn't Tommy. I wouldn't be able to watch him again if he were. Luckily, it's just his dad. I held back the need to throw up as I saw him awake. It was as if...
I don't understand why she finds it so disgusting. Maybe because they got bed hair and they got drool larvae out of their mouth, like a walking zombie, you know?
someone slapped me in the face in the middle of my dream. I was having a hard time breathing. After he left,
my God.
I rushed back to Tommy's room in despair, only catching back my breath as I watched him sleep. I looked at the sock in my hand, and it reminded me of his dad. I released it with revulsion and cleaned my hand on my clothes. I would have to take my souvenir the following night. I crossed him at school in the halls, but I ignored him. I saw him standing next to his locker. Some guys were talking to him. Some girls, too. I didn't mind. I didn't really get jealous of awake people. I knew that Tommy is mine. But for some reason, I began to yearn for the night. The hours turned long as I felt the need to see him, to touch him, to possess him.
Okay.
That night, when the lights
Stalker
went
girlfriend.
out, I rushed to his room. He was already asleep. "Hi, Tommy," I whispered as I stared at him. I looked through the window for a moment, and suddenly, I heard it. "Hi," he said. It was too soft, but he said it. I'm sure of it. I heard
Okay.
people talking in their sleep before, but this was not just people. This was Tommy. My precious Tommy. "How are you?" I asked him. "Fine," he said, in the most beautiful voice I've ever heard. I was in heaven. I kneeled down next to him and crossed my hands like I was praying, and I realized I was praying to him. He's mine. He belonged to no other. "How was school today?" I asked him. "Boring," he said, and the corner of his lips turned into a dim smile. We kept talking for hours. He was the most interesting person I've ever met. He was so easy to talk to. I opened my heart to him, and so did he. Time flew so fast, I didn't even realize the sun was rising.
I've never seen such a person with such skill that they can have a full-on conversation in their sleep. That's some real talent right there. Just, give them a round of applause, everyone. Woo!
I jumped when the alarm clock started to ring. I didn't want this to end. I don't want to leave you, Tommy. So, without even thinking, I shut it off. But I knew I had to go. The alarm was going to ring again, and he had to wake up. I didn't want to see him at school. I didn't want anyone to see him, talk to him, or even touch him. It made me nervous. It made me angry. I went out through the window, annoyed. I went to school and tried to ignore everyone. I usually did that, but now it was hard to breathe. I needed to see him, but at the same time, I didn't want to. I crossed him in the hall again, and I couldn't help myself. I looked up and saw him. Our eyes met. A chill ran through my body, but he blinked and continued, like he didn't know me, and I breathed again. I was glad that the awake Tommy ran along. He talked to the other students, and they all laughed about something. The girls that used to be my friends surrounded him. They wanted his attention. They could smell when a new guy might be popular right away. It was gross. If only they knew what I knew about them. I've memorized them in their sleep. They're true beings. And no matter how they acted around him, or even how he responded to it, the real Tommy was untouchable. I owned him forever. I finally got one of his used socks and guarded it as a treasure. I took it back to his room every night and to school every day like a precious charm.
Jesus.
We continued to talk every night. He confessed to me that he didn't really like school and that he didn't care if he was popular or not. I saw one version of Tommy during the day and the opposite one at night. I already knew that everyone wore masks during the day, but I was starting to know Tommy like no other person in the world, and I was thinking that something had to be done. He's my precious gift, and I wanted him to be happy. He was not happy at school. He's happy only with me. I knew every corner of the school, every secret door. I even knew that there's a small house on the property that's been abandoned for years. The perfect place. I told Tommy that night that on the following day, we're going to meet secretly in the abandoned house, and he said he was looking forward to it. That was it, Tommy. I was going to make you mine forever.
Okay, my brain might be going in the wrong direction. She raped him or something? I'm sorry to say that, but it really does sound like it. Oh yeah, and she hasn't told me why she wished she didn't take his sock. So, still waiting for that answer.
The next day when I arrived at school, I slipped a paper with a secret message in his locker. I waited patiently for break time and made sure he saw it. Then I went directly to the house and waited for him. But he never showed up. What went wrong? He saw the paper. He read it. I watched him do it. I waited for a long time. Then I tried to open the door, and it was locked. From the outside. What the hell? I tried to open it again, but nothing happened. I could scream, but then I would have to explain to the authorities what I was doing there. I tried once more. Nothing. Suddenly, I started to hear people talking and laughing. I stayed still, trying to figure out what's happening. I heard random phrases.
Don't piss off a psychopath.
Crazy. Just leave her there. She had it coming. She's a weirdo. And I froze, in shock. I knew exactly what's going on. Everyone knew about my obsession. I sat on the corner and grabbed my legs. I wanted to run away. And Tommy, my precious Tommy, you knew too. You were acting too. They told you about it from day one, and you acted all along. You were the only one that knew I was going to be here. And you sold me out.
He sounds like a dickhead. Damn.
After a few minutes, I heard a noise on the lock. The door opened, and I saw them. All of them. My old friends, my classmates, and Tommy, standing in front of them, staring at me. Tommy was not looking at me as if he didn't know me. His expression was changed. He's accusing me in silence. I couldn't speak. I felt betrayed.
Oh no!
You were never real, Tommy. You were never mine. One of my old friends stepped in and stared at me. Was that scary? She said, not with worry, but disdain. You felt trapped? Defenseless? I knew what she meant. My obsession had gone too far. And the worst part of it was that I didn't even care. I didn't care if they locked me up forever. I didn't care about anything. My Tommy, my life, my everything was gone. My dream turned into a nightmare. Yes, perhaps.
So this guy has like abilities to stay up all night too. I didn't know that that was just a thing that people did now, so.
I was obsessed. But you were acting like everyone does. I looked at him and he stared back. This was the first time that our eyes met for so long. He looked concerned. I wanted to rip his eyes apart. I thought I knew you, Tommy. I thought you were real. Everything you ever told me was a lie. I opened my heart to you and you smashed it. As the bell rang, all the students went back to class, but not Tommy. He stayed there, looking at me.
Aww.
What are you staring at? I asked him, but he stayed silent. Am I entitled to be mad at him after I made him the center of my obsession? But then again, he knew all about it from the beginning, and he kept on with it for months. He's crazier than I am. Why did he keep staring at me like that? Say something! I took out his sock and threw it to his face.
That is the most dog shit ending that I have ever seen. There's not like a part 2 to this yet, at least. So, when there is a part 2, I will make a video on that so you guys can see what happened, but to be continued. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed that, and bye bitches.
My darling, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you.